Hello, good evening to you and welcome to the White Carpet here on Joy News on Multi TV. My name is Nia Kofi Smart Abe, and for the next 1 hour I'll be with you talking about issues that are making the rounds in the entertainment world. Also, we will have a pleasant surprise for you later on the show. Yes, if you stick and stay with us, you'll get to know what that surprise is. Plus, I'll be hanging out with one fine gentleman who represented Ghana in an international competition, and he will be joining me here on the White Carpet. But what are some of the stories that made the headlines this week in the entertainment world? Well, this first one is not exactly entertainment, but the Black Stars, of course. We were hoping that they were going to go through to the next round of the Brazil World Cup, but unfortunately they failed. And Uncle Abel White had a play which somewhat bore some similarities with the issues that were happening. It was called Gamesmen Play. Did Uncle Abel get the prediction right? Was he a prophet or what? We'll be telling you more about that with my critics later on. Also, if you remember, this week marked 5 years exactly since Michael Jackson died. Yes, MJ, some affectionately call him. Really, what have we learned from Michael Jackson? Not all of us per se, but our performers. Have they taken any leave from MJ's book? We'll be talking about that. And Cost of Money. That Pidgin musical by the FOKN Boys, it's been selected for screening at the Durban International Film Festival. Also this week, we saw the launch of Afrima. It's the All Africa Music Awards that was launched in Accra yesterday. We'll get to talk about that also. So do stay with us here on the White Carpet. Of course, as always, the White Carpet is brought to you kind courtesy of Airtel. And let's find out what Airtel has in store for us. right. Oh, you caught me there. Okay. So as I'm seated and I was talking to someone else, of course, you know that I have a guest with me in the studio. But that music by Zonke, Feelings, is a music, I must confess, I've been enjoying it for the past, what, two months or so thereabout. Yeah. It's a great music. And I dedicate it especially to you, Gladys Osei-Redu, wherever you find yourself at this time. I hope the feeling is great, right? Okay. But let me come to the studio now. And I've been joined by, as I said earlier, a fine young man who represented Ghana in an international competition, which, if you cast your mind back, I think a few months back, Nana Texan and Obed Bafo were here talking about that same competition, saying that I should try or David should try. And I say I was what obey the wind or something like that. But someone else did try anyway. I didn't try, David didn't try, but Nita Kilai did, and he's with me here in the studio. He's Mr. World Ghana, or if you like, Mr. Ghana. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you.
Same. So let's start, Mr. Ghana. As I was saying earlier, Nana Texan was suggesting I contest, but well, I just. What made you decide to? What made you decide to go? At least you were me, so if you went on my behalf.
I heard about it on Facebook. I saw the poster. Okay. And I decided to go because they're looking for the world's most disabled man in Ghana. And first, when I saw Mr. Ghana, I also thought it was
the macho one.
Yeah, the bodybuilding. So I didn't want to go. And when I read about it, I saw the requirements: talent, physical structure, eloquence, and beauty, everything. And in turn, it's just everything that makes a well-rounded gentleman. Okay. And I was like, yeah, why not? I might as well go. Yeah. So.
And you gave it your shot.
Yeah.
How would you remember the number of people who you auditioned with here in Ghana?
Yeah, I think 15.
Okay.
15. I don't have the exact. I can't really remember the exact number, but I think around 15.
But going in, were you? Do you think like, okay? I mean, looking at the number, for instance, you go there, it's about 15, 20 guys, and being convinced that okay, I mean, let me give it a shot. Did you think you were really going to win or? But just one of those things.
I'm not a competition kind of guy, and but thinking about it, I weighed my options. I was very calculated before I took that step though, and I weighed my options, and because I'm a guitarist and a singer, and I saw that I could get some points with the talent. Okay. Get some points with the eloquence. Okay. You know, with the looks, I could pass for it, and the physical structure. So. On the average, I knew I was gonna do well, but when I won, I was surprised.
Okay, surprise. Okay, so you won and you represented Ghana at the Mr. World pageant. It's the first time Ghana is competing, right?
Yes, it's the first time.
And you were the first person from Ghana to do it.
Lucky me.
Yeah, lucky you. But I'm sure probably you might have felt some amount of pressure on you. I mean, seeing that this is Ghana's first time they're representing and you are doing that.
Yeah, that's an understatement. A lot. I was loaded with pressure before I left because first of all, I was asking questions. I'm going for Mr. World. I don't know what it entails. They are looking for the world's most desirable man. Yes, but that's broad. And since nobody has done it in Ghana, I was supposed to go and find out and intend to do my best. So within 2 weeks after being elected Mr. Ghana, I had to prepare and go for the Mr. World, go blind. But I went there and I did my best.
What sort of preparation did you have to do?
I got a hint that I should know how to swim.
Okay.
So I started learning how to swim within 2 weeks. And I made it. Yeah.
Okay. but the competition itself wasn't that easy. You were telling me a bit about what you guys had to do.
Yes.
As part of the competition.
The competition is broken down into various parts. First, there are points for talent, and there are points for extreme sports. That's actually military. Extreme sports is just hard, drop-down military training.
So what sort of things did you have to do?
Scaling walls, going through pipes, underground pipes to find your way out, running through mud, running through water, press-ups, all kinds of strenuous exercises just to bring out the survival instinct in you.
Okay.
Yeah, and also teamwork. Everything was involved in the Marines.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. So you had to do all that before you could qualify to another stage, or
Yes. In the extreme sports, you had to do something before you qualify, like with the press ups and then the normal gymming exercises before you actually qualify into the Marines training. So it's not everybody that actually qualified into the Marines training.
Really?
And from there, they judge based on what kind of exercise. Very soon the whole video is going to be out, so the general public can get to see that. Before you qualify to the next stage, you have to go through a set of training. If you're fit enough and you're good enough, you qualify to the next one. So luckily I made it to the final 15 and they had to cut it down, and I guess my stamina couldn't take me for it.
Oh, boy, you. but you did well in the talent hunt,
Yes,
right?
I made it to the final 8 and it was great, but what I was doing didn't fall into plan.
What did you do for the talent?
I did an original song.
Okay.
Yes, I did an original song. I played it and I sang it.
So you will sing it for us tonight?
Oh, I didn't bring my guitar yet.
Oh no, you could probably do just an a cappella for us before we wrap up with you. So.
It's really complicated. I would actually come and perform my original song for you. Yes, I would someday.
Okay, so we'll get him back some other time.
Yeah, definitely.
And he'll come as a musician that time, yeah, hopefully, and do the song for us. But I watched some videos on YouTube, and some of your fellow contestants were saying how talented you were.
Yeah.
Were you surprised you didn't win the talent?
Yes, it was a shock. Honestly, I've not told anybody this, but I felt like crying. I'm not joking. I was broken down because that was one of the main strengths I went there with, and you know, interacting with all of them and seeing what they do, I felt like I was gonna win. I felt it really. I was sure, and I'm not really sure of a lot of things, and but that particular one I was sure. But everything happens for a reason.
Okay, that's the introduction of the contestants. Okay, so probably we'll see you come on shortly. That's Mr. Bahamas.
Yeah.
I nearly said Mr. World. Okay, I just remembered Mr. Bahamas. This is from Bolivia. Oh, have you come already? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually in front.
Oh, okay, David, if you could probably get us when he is introduced.
People's Republic of China. Colombia. Curacao. Denmark. Dominican Republic. Ghana. Waterloo.
Okay, so I tried to do some Azunto there. Yeah. That was interesting. I mean, you guys, your introduction is way different from what the women do.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot different from that because the men actually got the choreographer, what she planned for us. We got it so quick, so she actually had to improvise and make it way better. So
okay.
Yeah, it was this set of guys was the best they've ever had.
Wow.
And they said it. They told us, and it made the show way better.
And almost everyone is almost somewhat macho, somehow. Was that one of the requirements?
You had to be built in a decent way to get it.
Not like the bodybuilders competition type of build.
No, that's
but
way
like
too
a
much.
fashion model build.
You have to have the cuts.
Okay.
But like I said, it's just one aspect. It doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win. They consider everything that makes a man: talent, multimedia, how you're able to maneuver with what do you call it, Facebook, Instagram, and get your likes up, upload videos, you know, tweet them, make them
So
appealing
that
to the
for
general.
your diaries on YouTube.
Yes, you have
Okay.
to be on point on that one too. They'll interview you. You have interviews, personal interviews, and interviews with the organizers. They'll check how you can express yourself, what you're talking about, your vision in life. That's also one aspect.
Okay.
And then we have the extreme sports. That's the military. That's survival instincts. And we have sports itself, indoor and outdoor sports. All these things measure
Sounds
up.
like a lot. But
Yeah, a whole lot.
you are a banking and finance student,
Yeah.
and so you want this. Do you also get to do a project like the way the girls do? And what is your project?
Yes, my project is child labor. That
Why
was a
that?
project because I have a soft spot for children. I love playing for children, and yeah, I just love to see children smile. And one day I was listening to, in fact, I was reading on the internet, and I read something about child labor and how most of the kids in the rural areas they are sold to the urban areas under the code of adoption.
Yeah.
And they come in and they're in people's homes, and the families don't treat them properly. They work, they slave, they don't get to eat properly, and in the end their future is just shattered.
Okay.
So and it's overlooked because all you hear is, oh, there's the house girl is there, the house boy is there, and it doesn't look like a big issue because they're like part of the family. They see them like part of the family,
Yeah.
even though they are maltreated. So I wanted to bring awareness to that part of child labor, and then recently to the Volta Lake incident. So I just came back though, so I'm about to structure a good plan and work towards it.
Okay. So we wish you all the best with your project
you
then,
very much.
and hopefully we'll see you again in the studio. You would sing for us,
Yes, I will.
and you would update us about your project as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ni. Okay, so I've been hanging out with Ni Takilai, who is Mr. Ghana, or if you like, Mr. World Ghana. Next time he promises he'll be singing for us. So do watch out for that. I'll let you know in advance when it's coming so you can make yourselves comfortable. Let's take a quick break right now. When we return, our critics will be joining us. We'll be looking at some of the issues making the rounds.
I'm hot, I'm cool, tough, I'm soft, I'm kind, I'm mean, I'm the rhythm to your heartbeat. Who am I? Cash. Cash it. How we do bien? Meeting ho, fititier. Meeting ho, mentitier. Area sim tokwa, any nina mitia. Me fifi onya sumye. Me kawa wamenye de. Me feel penny wa, ni timu jinina. No ya bofra. Your friend is Sika. Sabanara sounds money. Your friend is Sika. Yes, if I see the money. Your friend is Sika. Me oh man. Your friend is Sika. Sabanara money. Your friend is Sika. Yes, if I see the money. Your friend is Sika. I've caused many wars, broke many laws. Economists and politicians know I'm the boss. Broken homes and marriages, yes, I'm the cause. The people's lack of knowledge is all my fault. And I know I'm wrong, but through negativity I get strong. It's through this reality that I was born. Leave you with insanity and I'm long gone. Now me I'm in him game free. 610 BC on necrosis. Free to Lydia and me. We are see a friend a techie. They try me yeah me coin. Send me my boy we are see Jedi. Now so me when he bring tea. There be we are see to me. Crofo kucha won tea. Some be see no when ye. Be some be pay no when ye. Be some be a obi ye. Din yam to see and send me be boy ye ni dia right. Din. Your friend is Sika. Sabanara sounds money. Your friend is Sika. Yes, if I see the money. Your friend is Sika. Me oh man. Your friend is Sika. Sabanara money. shame semi who here chenya me. This will be Bompire Katana and what chenya me. Now, Bo, now, Bash, shame. If you're talk, swab, Koswa, just send me greeted their Sape, Tina, Judas, yes, Maya. Matthew 26, 14 to 16, Planet Kaya. So for teacher, lawyer, Dr. Mini, Obia Die. What that Katana is, no one is now, the great in the family, free petty, the make us pass my bemo, don't when I soon pay. And told the dog won't go to me tea, as some Kakabina, snap watching to diet in the pay. And yes, Simone, Nimu, hey, push me, yeah, and your bay, it's your near, now or yet, na eja, to me, Obama, or Mama, no mother, a coma, or Wafa, near Juma, now when you be your mama, nor the time, Shanaja, Lenny, Nara, Winnie, Winnie, Shira, Mrs. Wian, Sammy, that you don't claim, your friend is sick, 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 your friend is sick.
All right, thanks for staying on. It's now time for us to get talking, and of course the white carpet is probably brought to you by Airtel. And once we're talking, let me tell you that Airtel is also giving you the opportunity to talk chow, actually, to talk like a boss for as long as you want. If you have stuff to say, but you're really worried about your core credits, this is the good time for you to make that change to Airtel, because guess what? No matter how much you buy, once you meet your daily target, Airtel gives you 5 times the opportunity to talk more than you initially did. If you have any questions or you need more clarification, just call 141 and Airtel will gladly explain things to you so that you can now jump straight into talking chow on Airtel. But today I have a full house of analysts, panelists, critics, different titles. Francis Doku is Doku. Yeah. Okay. Doku. Yeah, he's the entertainment analyst. Yeah. He's with us tonight. Thank you, Uncle Francis. And then from the far corner, is that a red? No, that's a blue corner usually. Okay, his former Rasta friend, Nana Texton, still going strong. And in the middle, somewhere, is our female critic we introduced 2 weeks ago, Effie Nkrumah from Woman Productions. Effie, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll talk about football. Okay, not detail like the sports analyst will do. But Ghana was hoping that we were going to...
talking about football, one ball got bust last night.
Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about that. But before I talk about that, we prepared a little montage of the Black Stars' journey at the World Cup. Let's watch that. And then we'll talk about the ball Uncle Francis is talking about, yes, and other balls.
It was in Jordan's ball.
I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
Dempsey, an early goal. One of
the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
the match. And here's Andre Ayew! That's the equaliser! All Ghana's pressure eventually pays off! And Andre Ayew draws the team's level.
This one's for you, me put your hands high. The dreams are filled.
It's the substitute, John Brooks! Pandemonium inside the stadium.
Like they're talking to me when it comes on. Another day, another dawn. Another Keisha, nice to meet you. Get the math, I'm gone. What am I supposed to do when the club lights come on? It's easy to be pumped, but it's harder to be shown. What if my twins ask me why I ain't married their mom? Damn.
To aim for. Neuer is beaten. Ghana with the equaliser.
Says he wants to be like me when he's gone. Shit, but I ain't finished grown. Another night, the inevitable.
What a response from Ghana.
Another day, another dawn. Come on. Just tell Keisha and Teresa I'll be better.
It's emerging. It's 2-1
another
Ghana.
life that I carry on. I need to get back to the place I belong. house really a home when your loved ones is gone? And niggas got the nerve to blame you for it. And you know you would've took the bullet if you saw it. But you felt it and still feel it. And money can't make up for it or conceal it. But you deal with it and you keep ballin'. Ride some liquor playboy and we keep ballin'. Baby, we've been living in sin, cause we've been really in love, but we've been living as friends. So you've been a guest in your own home. It's time to make your house your own. Pick up the phone, pick up the phone.
I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes.
Thank you.
Coming home.
Coming home.
Coming home.
Coming
Tell the world that I'm
I'm almost home, check this out.
Yeah.
Till we back cruising through Harlem. These old blocks is what made me, saved me, drove me crazy, drove me away, then embraced me, forgave me for all of my shortcomings. Welcome to my homecoming. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. A lot of fights, a lot of scars, a lot of bottles, a lot of cars, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Made it back, lost my dog. Miss you, big. But here I stand, a better man. Stop. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, all.
I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
Let the rain wash away
Feel so
all the
good.
pain of
Feel so
yesterday.
free.
I know my
Ain't no place like home, baby.
and they're forgiven.
Ain't no place like home.
Okay. So, oh, you're clapping for the montage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. You're far too kind. So, Alex
Also, some
Murphy did
people are
that for
shedding
us.
tears, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this World Cup, that's how far Ghana went. 3 matches, and we're out.
Well, yeah, that's how far we went. I think that a bit sad because we came back not only because of footballing reasons, but because of many other things that could have been avoided. I think our whole approach to this World Cup wasn't the best, and that is why perhaps we're home, or we're coming back home.
I was debating with a friend that we weren't ready. He
Well, I
thinks otherwise.
I think otherwise. Not being ready. I mean, we qualified.
Yeah, we did, but
unfortunately, it is how we have managed things. I mean, we had a match to play, our very last match. We needed to win that match to see us to the next stage. And truth be told, the Portuguese were there to be taken. They were not at their best. They were not playing. Even when we played them, it wasn't the best. We played better than they did. All we needed to do was to score them. But you could see from the body language of the players that their minds were not in the game. It's more been affected. As the English would say, their heads were turned, because of a lot of things that are happening just before.
I heard a
the game.
BBC commentator said probably they were counting their monies overnight. So they were
Maybe,
a
and
bit
also
tired.
perhaps they were thinking about how
The
safe
money-
how
the
safe
money
the
was.
money was in the hotel room, and all that. So, just to say that we shot ourselves in the foot, and that is what's brought us home. But we should just learn lessons from this, and then when we go to subsequent tournaments, we know how to carry ourselves over. Learn lessons from this. But that's just talking to the Ghanaian. I'm sure we'll go to this again sometime in the future. We'll repeat it. We'll repeat the same thing, because some of these things we did, including carrying supporters from Ghana to the tournament. We did some of this in 2010, and we've done this. The supporters were stranded at Elwak in 2010. This time they were stranded at Accra Stadium in 2014. So I mean, this is just like us.
to get stranded,
We
even
in
in
Brazil.
Brazil.
We are experts in pressing the self-destruct button, and this is exactly what we've done here as well.
Effie, you were praying for Germany to do the job for us. They did, but we still didn't take advantage.
You know, I was saying this World Cup is painful. Last World Cup was really painful, and I was outside Ghana at the time, and that's why it hurts, because these things are about national pride. It's about giving the Ghanaian here at home and outside Ghana something to hold on to. Your head held high. A reason why when you say, where are you from? And you say, I'm from Ghana, people go, oh wow, you're good at soccer. And then we come to the World Cup and this mess. It's a hot mess. And I feel for the players whose focus was on the game and the focus was on Ghana and their fellow Ghanaians, because you could feel the burden. Like you said, their heads weren't in the game. I don't know whether they were counting money or thinking of their fellow players who had been kicked out of camp or what, but that was a burdened team we saw. And I think that we need to let our players play the game because that's what they do best. They represent us on that field and they do a damn good job. So next time, we just have to leave our players to play, follow the correct protocol, and let it happen. Because
No, you're not. But can we do that? I mean, with all the issues coming up, they saying they want their appearance fee, else no training, no Portugal game. Can we really just say we are leaving them to do what they do best?
Interesting. You notice I was scratching my tongue. It was itching. That means money is coming. And I saw the 100,000. I don't know who's giving me a percentage.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish. But you know, it hurts. You know, watching it. I watched it at the mall. That's the final match, and you could just feel the emotions there. You could actually cut the tension with a knife. That's how deep and serious we take our football, you know. And for this to happen, I don't want to blame the players because I think they did very well. Considering the things they were going through, the emotional roller coaster, they did a damn good job, you understand. Because remember, you're playing 11 men as well. These are not toddlers. These are grown men who have trained over the years, okay? You're playing against the world's best.
And his team.
And that gentleman alone, you saw the pass he gave, you know, to kick another team or to come level with another team.
The USA.
This is a very, thank you, this is a very solid player. And you saw some of the strikes he was hitting our goalkeeper with. Dangerous player. So playing against these people, look, I think our boys gave their best. Unfortunately, in football, it doesn't matter how good you play. The bottom line is the goals. Did you win? No, you did not. So, of course, we cannot push it so much and say they did so well. However, bringing it back home, I think our organization was quite poor from the beginning. All this hula baloo about 500 people, amounts of money, 2 million raised, NDC supporters or foot soldiers alone. But these are statements coming from our supposed leaders. This is crap. To say the least, you know. And for people to just say this, can you imagine the emotional drain it puts on the players? For Sule Muntari, I'm not for once condoning what he did. I'm a traditionalist, typical African, and I will never support anybody who extends a hand, not even to tap the face of anybody, let alone an elderly person. Never, never, never. No, no. However, look at the details of what we're provided with. Everybody will be angry. 58 officials and 23 players. Who are they going to officiate? Do you get my point? So technically speaking, there were issues. And maybe it was good we didn't go far. Because typical Ghana, if we had gone far, all these things would be glossed over. Be swept under the carpet. We will come back, laugh, smile, wait for 4 years. The same nonsense will happen again.
No, but even now it will still happen. I mean, this is us.
So it's frustrating me. It is really, really frustrating. And looking at Ghana, look at some of the countries there, or the countries in our group, except for Portugal, who's struggling economically. The two other countries are superpowers, Germany, America. The only thing we can use to kick their butt is soccer.
That's it.
And even at that, we sucked. We sucked.
And confused the world. We confused them. The whole journey to me felt like it was summarized in that last match. Watching the Portuguese players pulling the shirts of our boys.
Desperation.
That was the World Cup for Ghana. Everything was pulling our players back and they were running forward for it and couldn't quite get it. And I hope next time we learn to play clean. That is to the Portuguese team. I'm sorry to say it. That was a dirty game. Play clean and play right. Joga bonito, it's supposed to be a beautiful game.
Unfortunately, it's contact sports, so it will never be. A
As
few
clean
people's
as you'd
balls
want
and
it.
nuts will be showing.
Yeah,
I
like
think
they
next
did
4
to
years
Jordan.
come
They
around.
were wonderful to see.
But Uncle Francis, these whole money issues, the match fixing issues, the kicking out of players from camp, I think some of them were played out in Uncle Ibo's last play, Gamesmen play. He spoke about some of those issues, and it was somewhat shocking to see some of them play out in real life.
Like premonition.
Yeah, sort of. Okay, let's juggle up the minds of some of our viewers with the story on Gamesmen play. Well, we're still talking World Cup and entertainment, are we? Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
are.
think so.
Okay.
Remembering
The play, set in the camp of a fictional Black Star team, takes patrons through a roller coaster of intrigue and scheming as the fictional national team prepares to play its first game at the World Cup.
He's running the promotion. This time around, he is giving you the goal for only $1,000 for shaking. That's it. That's it. Nana says instead of 5,000, he's now giving it for only 1,000. That's it. Yes, this is the man that Vidia threw out earlier. He's very powerful. We need him with us.
As has become the norm with plays written by Ebo White, the play does not only talk about issues such as teamwork, but also presents a love story of the team's coach who is caught up in a love triangle. The playwright spoke about his inspirations for the play.
The World Cup. I wanted a play that would fit the theme of the World Cup, and also we wanted a way of dedicating a show to the Black Stars and wishing them well, because they do a lot for Ghana, and they need to know that the whole Ghana is behind them.
Patrons who obviously had a great time shared their views about the play.
It was a great show. I love the show. I love the way he played around with football to pass on the message. And I think I've been loving him from since, so I think it's at Broadway in Ghana, so at least applause.
It was amazing. It happens to be my first time. I'm really honored I saw it. One thing that really struck me was the fact that it started exactly on time, because people have said it all the time, like, you know, you come to Uncle Ebo's, you can't come late, and I was right on time, 6:30, started just on point.
I love the play. I think it's excellent, and typical of Ebo White, he took a normal genre. No, not normal. He took a normal game, soccer, used soccer as a way of delving into the psyche of Ghanaians. Because on the surface, it's just talking about soccer, but deep, it's talking about the Ghanaian mind and our attitudes and our belief systems and our values. And that's what I really, really like about his works. You laugh and you enjoy and you clap, but as you're walking home, you go, Charlie, this thing is true.
Games Men Play opened to the public on Saturday, May 24th and runs on Sunday, May 25 and next weekend.
Okay, so that was something that happened in May.
So what is that next weekend? I thought
it was in May.
So I was in the wrong planet.
No, but really, okay, Afok Kojomagwe has been quoted as saying that playwrights often tend to see into the future somewhat. Is that the case, or did he get divine revelation of sorts?
No, I think it has to do with the fact that playwriting is an art, you know, and you can only do it if you have that ability to. And you also have to be creative enough to think about the theme for which you're writing. I think that maybe we can say it's a bit of insight into things that have happened before in the camps of the Black Stars. Maybe not exactly as they play out, but what you do with a play or a film or any creative work is to do the imaginary things that are likely, you know, to happen, to play out in real life, and so it is appreciative. I mean, Uncle Ebo has to be appreciated for how he was able to capture the things that came out very strongly. Sometimes you get it wrong as a playwright, but other times you get it right. What you write about, what is acted on stage, and being what really happens sometimes. So kudos to him that he was able to capture that particular aspect of the Black Stars. Some of the things that played out in Brazil, he captured in the play.
Maybe apart from the Juju Man, we don't know if the Juju Man went to their camp in Brazil.
Well, he was in the audience. He was in the stadium.
Well, I mean,
the dude that was shaking the head.
It is possible that we had somebody there. It is possible that it may not necessarily be one wearing the kind of thing to the regalia this guy was wearing, but somebody in the make of bringing out the spiritual aspect, you know, of the players. And maybe that's what will not play out in the public.
Yeah.
But some of these things happen, you know. So yes, it is imaginary. You could say it was a bit prophetic, but I look at it that being a creative person, he was able to imagine some of the things that are likely to come. Also getting insight from previous things that are happening. And that's where he got it right.
True. Yeah. Oh, okay, you are first.
Okay. I think sometimes, or I should say I know, with art, the closer you look, the more detail you get. It's not so much about thinking so far ahead, you know, of what could be, but what is the actual situation? True. This is what it is, and we present it back to you. And that's why you can laugh and say it's funny because it's true, because yes, that's so real to how I would react, or so real to what happens. And the gift of this play was, for those of us who love soccer but don't know what happens in camp, to be honest, I won't lie, I didn't even consider the idea of camp, you know. And that was something that through the play I learned. Now, the issues that happen whilst they're at camp, when they get to the venue itself, all those things were, for those of us who just watch soccer on the field, learning experiences. Sorry, football.
She's Ghanaian Australian.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Football. For us, football is a very strange shaped ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
But football. So anyway, the point is, the play revealed things that those who are not close to the game, as Uncle Eboy is, he played soccer, his brother played for the Black Stars. So these are things he knows as every day. And perhaps it's what you're saying, it's history repeating. This isn't new information. It's just being opened up. The Pandora's box is open. And fortunately, unfortunately, what happened in Brazil in some ways mirrored what he was saying.
That's true.
So now, again, for those who don't know, they're now at home going, wow, so this is what happened. So now how do we help and make sure it doesn't happen again? So, you know, it was great. And aside that, I'm sure they have as much fun as we had watching that play. I'm sure there were some fun moments.
Yeah, you know, playwrights or script writers are very, very powerful people. This man is one of them, Uncle Francis. He has something in 3-pack series, is it? It's called SMS.
The SMS, yeah. I think I read only the first part.
Oh, goodness. I couldn't wait to read the second and the third. And he kept teasing with it. And at a point, he was very annoying. You know, he's always annoying. But at that moment, he was more
Uncle Francis, disclaimer, I didn't say that.
Yeah, of course. Okay. I mean, you won't say that.
Do you know why I could say that? I'm sitting far away.
Exactly. And I'm very close.
And Sule Montari would never work on me in this moment, you know. And what they do is they can actually see into the future. You remember a certain Ian Fleming who wrote the James Bond characters and all that, created it literally. He himself was a spy before, but he went further to exaggerate. Brought about things that could happen in the future, and that came about in the technological aspect, like the cars that he was predicting would come through. And today what's happening? We're using them. We're using Bluetooth. We're using WhatsApp, imaging and all that. He had predicted in what? 1966. That's the power of imagination. If I look at Uncle Ebo White, that's exactly what I see. Somebody who is just creative, his creative juices are just on a high. I don't know what he smokes, but it really, really is
Holy
working.
Spirit, Holy Spirit.
You know? And what can I say? That's a beautiful piece of art. Unfortunately, I haven't seen a single Uncle Ebo play. That's
we'll
very
talk
sad.
about that later. But David says he has a surprise for us concerning the ball Uncle Francis was talking about.
The ball that bounced.
Yeah, the ball.
Oh,
so, David, you said you have the picture of the ball that bounced last night. So, we're waiting to see. There it is. I don't know how David got the picture early, but well, that's cool.
We lost me. I was lost in transition. You realized? I was looking for the ball at first.
Yeah.
They put the wrong picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's Gladys's
baby.
Oh.
Yes.
So that's the ball we've been talking about.
Oh, that's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Otherwise, we got
I'm
him.
such a child.
We got him.
Bottle? Should I get the bottle for you?
Okay.
No, the bottle is yours.
But quickly.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
to her.
congratulations. Yay.
That
Quickly, Uncle Francis, you launched Afrima yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, tell us more about it. I find it a bit daring that you're doing the very first edition. You intend to broadcast it on what, 85 countries?
84 countries.
84
in
countries, 109 TV channels.
Yes.
I mean, it's the first show. I mean, for goodness sake, why would you want to do that?
Well, I think that the reason is that what must be done well. Is that a done well payoff? If it must be done, it must be done well. Yeah. You know, so you want to put your best foot forward. The point is that we're known as Africans. We're known to like and love our music.
Yeah.
But we have not been able to sell our music out very well as we should. So there's a research that says that of all music downloads globally, only about less than 1% comes from Africa.
Wow. It's a shame.
So it means that
as in less than 1% is African music.
African music. More than 1% is African music. But we know that we have very good music, quality music,
exactly.
and we love our music. But the point is to see how to sell, what we have to a bigger global audience. And that's the reason why the organizers of this event have decided to have it shown, globally on many channels. Afrima is All Africa Music Awards, which is scheduled to take place in Nigeria, Lagos, in October. But it is meant to celebrate African music and to sell African music to the outside and reward the people who are putting in effort to make African music what it is and to sell it to the global audience. So we launched it yesterday in Ghana. The Ghana leg was launched. There's the different launches in different countries, 54 countries, African countries taking part. So we hope that we're able to do something very well for the first time and then see how we develop and grow it.
But Nana Effie,
boss.
With such an initiative, how really will it help push the African agenda in terms of music?
It would help. I mean, and if you're sitting here as a very proud African, and then you're hearing such statistics, you want to sink, I want to be cursed to enter the floor. That's sad. That's very, very sad. So if they've actually done their research, come up with these things, and they think this can be the remedy to that, I agree 100%. Thankfully, I'm part of it. I'm on the board. Yes, yes.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy. And I am so excited. I'm so happy about it. And like you said, it's very daring. But guess what? If you're going to think big. Or why think anyway?
Think outside the box.
Inside
what
the
is
box.
Inside the box is already thought.
I know. Outside the box, there are issues. That's what our minister went to think, and he just lost his job.
He hasn't lost his job.
Okay,
he's giving another.
Musical chess. So yes, on a more serious note, I missed the launching. I really wanted to be there so badly, But I'm very, very happy. I know he's going to be very successful. And anything this gentleman is involved in is a powerhouse.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm proud of him also. Let me say it. I'm proud of him. I don't often get to say it, so I'm proud of him.
I'm laughing from year to year.
Did you say ear? Somebody said his ears are like antennas, I eat the powers blue. What a smart.
Okay, you want to say something about Afrima before we move on?
I think it's exciting. It's important. Now, the question I was thinking is, if it's less than, you said it's 1% of downloads, then what is Africa, the continent, what are we? It means we're not downloading.
We're downloading
something
Rihanna
else.
And Nicki Minaj.
So we need to really get ourselves to start supporting ourselves. And that is part of the reason why those statistics exist. Until we start buying into our own products, we always wait for someone outside to say, oh, African print's nice. Then we go crazy for it. Oh, Angelique Kidjo is great. Then we go crazy for it. No. Start appreciating it here first. And then, whether or not the rest of the world love it, we know that we love what we've produced. But in addition to that, I think it's exciting again because there are so many people in diaspora who would love to hear and see what else is on offer.
Apart from bombs, poverty.
And the same 3 or 4 Hugh Masekelas and Angelique Kidjo, not as a discredit to them, but
Not at
there are
all.
so
Yeah.
many
Not at
other
all.
things
You're
going
saying
on.
those and all that.
You know,
Salif Keita,
Salif Keita, yeah. And
Kofi
it's
Olumide.
also
Yeah.
a nice
indeed.
response to the MTV, you know, which seeks to westernize the African, which we do quite well. But let's see the variety, let's see the genres, and let's let the whole world and ourselves educate ourselves on what's really happening.
And to quickly add to that, you see, sometimes we tend to underrate ourselves, you know, and we don't support our own. Isn't not surprising that our jersey won the best jerseys, you know,
Well,
in
that's
the
according
World
to a
Cup?
US website.
It doesn't
and
matter.
some
It's
have
still,
And it
it's
wasn't,
still
it
something.
wasn't even according to a US, or it's just somebody's view. One
Yeah.
person
One-
who thought.
Yeah.
Thank
Like,
you.
we all think differently.
The staff of a website.
But you see, no matter what, somebody outside of us recognized
Appreciate
it.
it. Yeah.
That's a big deal. You know, if you have a daughter, they tell her, if nobody tells the daughter she's pretty, you, the father, just tell her she's pretty. That alone is a good opinion for her to go and face the world with a lot of confidence.
Is not nice.
Say again, please.
But that just is
I don't know. I liked it too.
I liked it.
Uncle Francis saw a jaundicely, that's why.
Although I'm not wearing glasses.
Okay, now that's not fair. You're picking on a sick man's eye.
Yeah.
You're picking on a sick man's eye. That's not fair. I have a handicap. Please don't use it against me.
Thank you.
That is low.
Okay, but before we go, though,
My ear is my handicap.
Antenna. You see, she said it. I didn't say she
yeah,
said it.
today I'm very safe. I'm not saying anything. Okay, but before we go quickly, David wants to cut us off as usual, as he does. Wednesday, I think, was MJ's 5th death anniversary.
That's true.
Wow.
Well, you don't talk MJ and sit down.
Oh, really?
What do you, like, spin
stand-
around?
Okay. So, any,
No,
any,
you hold your Jordans.
and then you stand up.
You mean this?
No,
Does
LeBron
Jordan-
James. That's LeBron
There's a
James.
difference. Okay.
Of course, when we talk about MJ, we can easily see him in the Bruno Marses,
Sure,
the Nails,
sure.
the Chris
Mario.
Browns,
Usher.
the Ushers.
Yeah.
But have local
P-Square,
people.
the P squares.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in Ghana.
G-Man.
How many people have really, can we say, are picking up, even if for nothing at all, his stagecraft?
Sure.
Have they learned anything 5 years on?
No.
No.
Okay, so unanimous to know then.
Yes, indeed. Not, because
It's
Not-
a work
not
ethic
yet.
thing. It's a work ethic thing. I think Ghanaian.
Okay, David said John Jermaine has learned from Michael Jackson.
Sorry,
With what?
learned
John
what?
Jermaine.
the singing.
David, they want to know
Not-
exactly
not
what.
what?
Which John?
John Jermaine, hello to go John Jermaine.
Francis, you mean?
Oh, John Jermaine.
Yeah, the TV presenter,
No, I haven't
musician.
seen him on stage.
Myself, I only
Yeah.
heard his music.
I have seen him on stage. I think he,
And he was in Michael.
yes, he was. The singing pitch was. Yeah.
Okay, the singing.
If he does well, that's it. Yeah. No, like, anyway,
It's
I
Wako
think
who
it's
does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made
Except for the,
falsetto seem fun. Yeah.
I
except
thought
for
we
the
were talking
hiccup.
about the stage,
Yeah,
the
we're
whole
talking
stage
exactly
craft,
the whole
not just the
thing, not
singing.
just the singing. Yeah.
Not just the singing.
Yeah.
Not just the singing.
Not just
Like
the singing, the
dancing,
whole,
the whole
yeah.
stage
The
craft.
energy.
The
he
kind of
brings on
thing you
stage.
see
That's
and
it.
this is it.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Or your song,
sharpness.
this is it.
Not
The
to mention, it was
commitment.
just a
Yeah, a
rehearsal.
rehearsal.
And
That
look
was
at
just
the
a-
quality,
exactly.
you know. And that's Michael Jackson for you. I think you mentioned something about work ethic. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
workaholic.
It's not just Michael though. You see it in Beyonce.
Mm.
She has one of the best work ethics ever.
Indeed.
And that's
Indeed.
why she's where she is.
She has one of the
because
best
she
stage
thinks
crafts.
she
Yeah.
thinks
True.
of her audience.
She looks.
thinks
She
of
also
her
seems to
audience.
have learnt a lot from Michael or tapped from
Everybody
Michael.
learned from
That's true.
Michael.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Becky also learned from Beyonce, though. She's looking like Beyonce today. So I was
Today,
like,
yeah.
Becky, wow.
The hell,
Rebecca,
Rebecca.
yeah. But sorry, that's not. It wasn't Beyonce's death day. It was Michael
Yes,
it's
Jackson
Michael.
5 years
Yeah.
ago. So
So,
leave all of
Is
them
it really
girls.
Becky that I'm saying?
Oh, you also mistook her for Beyonce. I also went for an autograph. Say, Beyonce, can I have?
No, but it must be said that Michael, I mean, everybody who's in the
Industry, music
industry
industry.
needs to look at what Michael
Sure.
did. You know, his work ethic, as she said, his creativity, his dedication to his work is par excellence.
True.
And if you want to get to the what you say,
Echelon.
the very high echelons of your profession, you can't look beyond Michael.
See,
The likes of Usher.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Usher, there you. Everybody, all the guys who made it in recent time, they look up to Michael, and you can't go wrong with Michael Jackson.
I think another word, if I may, is sacrifice.
Okay.
Michael had a tough childhood.
That was Elton John.
It's no sacrifice. But you know, I mean, Michael's
The
childhood
mic's on a different place today.
Michael's childhood was sacrificed. I'm sorry, he did not have a childhood.
Yeah,
his sisters
he
didn't
said
have
it
a
quite
childhood.
a number of times as well.
And that is all he had left was his stagecraft. And I think sometimes if our artists sort of let go of the idea of celebrity, wearing shades, sitting like this and going, you know, like, just work, go into the studio and rehearse a choreography, get fit, you know, do your vocal warm-ups every day, and you will have the
Don't
same.
eat pork and kinky.
Even if you do,
Speak
I
for
mean,
yourself,
there should be balance. But I think that's what it comes down to. Michael had to sacrifice something
to gain.
to get
You
it.
know, but
I'm not talking
sorry,
Illuminati
I think we're out of time, but
Yeah,
I'll just
exactly.
add
So like
this
some
one.
30
The bit
seconds.
about the sacrifice, you know, I love Michael. I mean, I love Michael since he was a boy till he became an old white woman. I love Michael, you know.
Asian.
And Michael is fond of giving excuses. Oh, I didn't have a childhood.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Peter Pan? Please, Michael, that's no excuse.
Come to Never
You were
Neverland.
making money.
Yeah.
You were building
Even
trust
as a
funds.
child.
And you know,
Exactly.
he always tried to recreate his childhood as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
the things he
Yes, if he doesn't want to
Create
grow,
a
that's his
child.
business. He can stay as a child, which he even died as a child. I'm
Mercy.
Michael, I'm dying. You know?
I'm Michael Jackson.
Wait, what you said?
Exactly.
This is my brother Tito.
Yeah, that's Tito. Tito's life speaking on me. Please, Michael, you made $1 billion. Shut the hell up and die.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
well,
not my Michael.
He's my Michael too.
okay, well,
But somebody has to say enough of that nonsense. I'm Michael, I didn't have a childhood.
Yeah.
You made $1 billion, damn it.
okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
are we
Okay.
still on
we're
air?
going home.
Yeah, we're
We're going
giving it a
home
second,
now.
guys. Yeah, we're going home. But big thanks to you guys
Kick the balls.
for joining me today on the set and for making my first official White Carpet Day
After the
fun.
bust of the ball.
After the bust of the ball, very fun. Okay, so if you missed the show, of course you can catch a repeat tomorrow Sunday evening at 9:30 on Joy News, and then also you can catch up with it on Hits TV at 11 a.m. on Sunday, and then a repeat on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. My name is Nia Kofi Smartabe. Many thanks for your time, and congratulations to you, Gladys. The clock is ticking, right? Yeah. Congratulations, and the clock is ticking, and we hope to see you in October as you promised, so that we do the big, the big one year anniversary of the White Carpet. So, okay, so David, I think it would be nice if we left with something from MJ. Uncle Francis is in the mood. He'll do some moonwalk for us.
Oh.
But you were playing some MJ video at some point.
Let's do
Going home.
Okay. All right. So we're out. Play what?
But I ain't finished strong. Another night, the inevitable prolong. Another day, another dawn. Come on. Just tell Keisha and Teresa I'll be better in the morning. Another lie that I carry on. I need to get back to the place I belong. Come on. I'm coming home.
You know, I was wondering, you know, if you could keep on, because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel like